And we do have us a dime. Is that a clad? Or is that a silver? Alright, so I'm out hunting with the XP Deus 2 today. Just killing a little time, and I got the new update 3.02. I'm hunting in general program right now. $59.60 right here, and I'm using my new Excalibur sax digger pistol grip. I like the way this feels, but let's see if this is going to be a pull tab or okay, not a pull tab, but it is just a chunk of aluminum. So that was trash. This particular property was a church property way back, early 1900s, and no longer here, obviously. But like I say, I found 2 buffaloes here, and there's a lot of iron in the ground. Figured this might be a good spot to try out 3.02. 85. That's interesting. That's off of a bicycle. That's a caliper brake. Old school, from an old bike. I don't know if you ever had the old bikes, but if you remember, this was above the wheel. And it had 2 rubber pads on it. When you squeezed your brake, it clamped down on the rim. Well, I just dug this memorial penny up, but you see this? It's nicked and it's bent. Showing a 80. 88, 89. A couple times it popped up into the 90s. Let's see. It could be a modern dime, or it could be a memorial, or it could be something better. And this is old ground, so let's see. There it is. It is a coin. Before I flip this over though, a lot of times 88 is a wheat cent. Let's see if I get that lucky. Nope. It's a memorial. All right, that's a 80 right here. 80 beside where I just dug that memorial. There it is. Another penny. Looks like a crusty zinc. Not the kind of coins I want to find out here, but hey, it's a find. All right, so I'm hopeful for this one. But you hear all this iron, right? Let me make sure this thing's turned up. Oops. I just go ahead and do your thing. All right, so hopefully you can hear the sound out of the speaker. Did you hear that? Right there. Ooh, 91.92. Oh man. Again, I am hopeful for this one. And this ground is so dry right now. Which you might say, why are you hunting on general? Because that's ground subtraction. Well, it rained like crazy here yesterday and I thought the ground was gonna be dry. Got out here hunting and just haven't changed it. So let's see. I may change it to full tones here. Just a minute. And we do have us a dime. Is that a clad? Or is that a silver? The edge of that looks silver, y'all. This might be a silver dime. You heard how sweet that sounded, didn't you? When it was in the ground. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been in this place many times, and I believe I probably just didn't swing across it or recognize it possibly before. But let's go see if that's the silver. I don't want to leave my detector laying out there for somebody to pick up. My wife's here, but she's in the truck. Might have silver.
Silver.
Maybe. Let's see. I could be getting too excited over nothing. Oh, no water.
Water?
Yeah, can you put some water in here? Thanks. All right, let's see. The edge of it looked like a silver to me. Let's see. I know they say don't rub it, but I gotta rub it a little bit. Yep, 1959, I do believe. Put that somewhere where it's, that's a silver dime. So yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see the foam, but I'll put a picture in the video. 1959, and you hear how sweet that sounded. Nice. All right, let me keep going. Got something that might be worth digging here. 92, 93. This hunt will be coming to a close soon. But, oh, there it is. It's a quarter, modern. I'll take it. Might be another quarter here. Oh, it's not a quarter. It is a nut. Brass nut. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Y'all know that jingle, don't you?
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Tell you what, I'm loving this pistol grip sax digger so far. I'm loving it. All right, this one could be iffy. It's a little bit sketchy, but I'm getting that high tone. What in the world is that? That is a fuse. All right, getting close to the end of the hunt. This one sounds really good. $89.90. And a coin. And that is going to be a modern dime. I'm going to dig this because it's pretty much staying on 58. It's more or less locked in. So, and it sounds decent. That's the other thing to keep in mind about your VDI. If you are going to use your VDI, when it locks in on something and the numbers don't really move, then you probably got something. Just like I got something right here. I got a nickel. That was locked in on 58, and it looks like Jefferson. Yep, it's a Jefferson nickel. Liking that. Not sure what the date's gonna be on that. This one might be fairly old. Might have to get the year off this one later. Let me see if I can get any better on my phone. That's another thing too. Your phone is one of the best magnifiers out there. So take a picture and zoom in on that thing. Looks like a 59. Looks like a 1959. That's an old one. You know, it's not colonial old or 1800s old, but it's old. I'll take it. $93, $94. What's it gonna be? Brass nut or a quarter? The last one was a brass nut. The other one was a quarter. Let's see what this one might be. Boy, this ground is really hard right here. There she is. Not a brass nut, quarter. Modern, obviously. It looks like crap. Alright, so here's my finds for this hunt. And you can see I dug a lot of trash, a lot of scraps of aluminum, and all sorts of things. A little bit of foil there, a fuse, a brass nut. That was coming up in quarter range. So, you know, that's a good example again. It was singing like a quarter, but it was a brass nut. I did dig 2 quarters. I dug a 1959 nickel, 1 dime modern, and then 8 modern pennies. And then I got my silver dime here, 1959. Now, if you look at this silver dime right here, it looks pretty bad. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot of your silver dimes that you might dig, but it is silver. This side looks better. But if you noticed in the video, and maybe I'll point that out, if I did, I apologize, but I'm telling you again. But when I pulled this out of the ground, you'll notice I flipped it sideways and brushed the edge. That's the first thing I looked at before I started rubbing the face of the coin. And with silver coins, normally you can tell the difference on that reeded edge when you look at it. So I went and got a regular clad dime, and I'm gonna show you the difference right there. So when you look at the edge of a dime, the one on the bottom is a silver one. You can clearly see a difference between that silver dime and that clad dime. In the clad dime, you can see the copper in there. and you can definitely tell it's clad, whereas the silver you don't get that. So just a little tip there.